Technology. Wow. Technology, how it's changed the real estate industry over the last 25 years is phenomenal. I'm going to show you so many different things here that have saved realtors time, energy, and money. And the important thing is that the 6% commissions of the past, that predates fax machines, cell phones, all the handheld devices, things that we have today that really make our job a lot easier than they used to be. And it's really lowered the cost for real estate. It's allowed realtors to work more efficiently, be better communicators with you, and it's very, very exciting. And let's take a look at all the great advancements now in technology. All right, now let's talk about how technology has changed our game. It's changed our game in a lot of different ways, and let's get started. First of all, let's talk about the MLS. What you know as the MLS, which nowadays is referred to, and it's called the MRIS, Metropolitan Regional Information System. You'll hear me refer to both. It's the same thing. MLS, MRIS, same thing. So let's talk about how that's changed the industry, because that's really what has made it better for everybody and more reasonable, as you'll see why you can do a 4.5% full service listing. The MRIS really has empowered the buyers now, and it's empowered the sellers to get information on the internet. But if you look at the MLS in 1970, let's look at the 1970s. My mom was in real estate at that point, and they used to come around a couple times a week with index cards, and it would have the houses that are on the market. If you can believe that, that was the extent of the multiple listing system in the 70s. That's all they had was index cards. The point of this is that the realtors controlled all of the information. Of course, back then it was very primitive, but the point is the realtors controlled all the information. As it moved into the 80s, we did develop an MLS system, which was great because now we could upload photos, we could have a lot more information about the property. We could now do a search on the computer and narrow down what area we wanted to look at, maybe price ranges and things like that. So that was really the beginning of the entire movement, was the MLS coming of age in the late 70s, early 80s. Then the big change for me, the big change for everybody, was that the MLS started to develop. It got better and better. And I can remember it like it was yesterday. It was in the late 90s, I think it was 1999. I was sitting in that MRIS classroom, and they had just come out with a new product. And the new product was an automatic email system, whereas any realtor could take their buyers and enter them one time into the MLS system. So if you were my buyer, I would come in, I would take you just like they do today, where I'd enter in your price range, the area, a lot of different characteristics that you wanted about your house. I could lock that in one time into the MLS, okay? Then every morning when I wake up, automatically you would be emailed, my buyers would be emailed any new homes that hit the MLS that fit their parameters. Now what that meant for me was, because back in the late 90s, I felt that there could be some discrimination against a 4.5% broker. I'll explain to you later that there is not, even though that there's talk of it, but there's absolutely not. But I knew that when this product came out, when the automatic email system came out to the customers, I knew that changed the game, and here's why. Because every morning when I would get up, if I had 7 or 8 buyers that I'd be working with, every morning I'd have to get up and I'd do a search for them. And that would take a long time, take 15, 20 minutes to do a search. Then I'd have to fax my customers all the properties that came up on the search for the last 24 hours. And I'd have to do that for 5 or 6 or 7 different customers. Well, that would take me an hour and a half every morning of my life. Every morning, 7 days a week, I had to do that for my buyers. Now, when this automatic email system came out, we no longer had to do that ever again. And I knew that every realtor would do that, would enter their buyers into this system, because first of all, the buyers would demand it. They'd want the emails at 7 a.m. every morning of any new property that hit the MLS. So I knew right away that the discrimination was out of the picture at that point, because it was such an incredible time saver for the realtor that I realized and knew that every realtor was going to use this system and was going to put their buyers into the automatic email. It was just logical. It was good for everybody. And I knew that would end any potential for discrimination against my listings, even though I know it wasn't happening, but there were people that said it was. So this was a game changer for me. I knew it as soon as I heard it. I remember sitting there thinking, this is it. Every realtor is going to put their customers into this automatic email system, and the customers are going to see every home that hits the market, no matter what. So that was the big change. But nowadays, it's gotten even better. Now we've evolved into an internet. When the internet got into the game in the last 4, 5, 6, 7 years, it has grown and it has changed the game dramatically. And here's the major change to that, is that now two big things have happened recently. First of all, every buyer can now go into our MLS system live. You can go in and look at our MLS system live. What this has done is, no longer do the realtors have control of the information in the inventory. Now, any buyer anywhere in the world can go into our MLS system and look live at every property that's in the system. That was great, because now that's all they're doing. The buyers now, if you're looking at how buyers are looking for homes, that's it. They're not waiting for the realtor to call them anymore and say, hey, I got 2 more homes. The people that are serious about buying, they're on the MLS 4 or 5 times a day looking at anything that may have hit the market that's in their search. One thing though, you have to be careful when you're searching in the MLS. I think that you really must go in through a real estate company, and here's why. There's some different companies out there that have said, you can search all the homes on our system. Well, if you're on a realtor system, every realtor in the industry is tapped directly into the MLS system, and that's the system you want to look into. There are other products out there where you can say, hey, look at, you can come in and look at all the homes that are on the market. But the fact is, what's happened is that the companies have set up and they'll pull in listings from all over, but they won't take them off their private system when they're sold. Well, that's very bad for the consumers, because you don't want to look into you don't want to look into a system that has thousands of homes, half of which have already been sold. When you go onto their website, we all tap into the exact same MLS system. That's the system I want you to search for homes, because I know that every home that you see will be on the market. There won't be any dead properties on there, because our MLS system requires that when a contract is ratified on a home, we must take that home and change the status to a different status. That way it won't come up on your search. When you're searching for homes, you're just searching for active listings. If the home changes, it goes under contract, it will automatically come off the system, so you won't see it. And that's the reason why I want you, if you're going to do searches, do it on a realtor's website, because that'll get you right directly into our MLS system. Now, one of the great advancements in the MLS is the internet. What our MRIS system did is, now they've gotten to a point just in the last year where they have worked out deals with every major search engine that you can have, the Googles, the Yahoos, Realtor.coms, Trulia, you name it, Zillow. So what happens is, instead of a couple of years ago when a realtor put your listing in the system, in the MLS, we had to individually upload it and put it into that system or that system, into 8 or 9 different systems if we wanted it shot out. Now what's happened is, our own MLS has created arrangements with all these major search engines, every one you can imagine. So what we do now, this leveled the playing field for everybody, and this is the gist of why, at the end of this is one of the major points of why you'll feel safe about listing your home at 4.5% with us. No matter how big the company is, whether it's one person working out of their home all alone, or whether it's the biggest realtor in the industry, the minute they put the listing, your home, into the MLS, it's automatically shot out into every major search engine all over the world. So it's leveled the playing field for everybody. So it doesn't matter if you're, again, the realtor in your house working by yourself, or the biggest realtor in the entire state of Virginia. As soon as both people put it in the MLS, everyone in the world sees it. It goes out into Realtor.com, it goes out to all of them, and that was the game changer right there. Because now I can sit with you as a seller, and you're worried about, geez, is this person going to market my home more than this realtor? Well, it doesn't matter anymore, because 90 to 95% of the home sales come via the internet and the MLS. Same thing. So you've already attracted 90 to 95% of the people that are going to buy your home right through the MLS system, and it doesn't matter who the realtor is that enters it into the system.